thanks again, everyone, for being here today and being part of this. And it's always amazing to me as well to see how much work has gone on the past year and what our volunteers are doing. So as a result of each year, we take a look and hope and solicit people to provide projects and other efforts that they think help with historic preservation. And this is our opportunity to provide awards. There's been a committee consisting myself and Ruth Ann and Carol and Margarita Jerebeck, who is also a doctorate in historic preservation and works that way professionally. And each year we wonder whether what's been going on, especially through the pandemic, and always we've been getting and receiving amazing nominations. And if you want to go next, this year we have 5 awards or 6, and I'd like to go through them all tonight and thank each of these and talk about the fine work of each of these awards. And I'll be introducing the first one, which is the Purser Apartment Building. And the Purser Apartments, constructed in 1913, is a landmark 4-story building and a long-standing feature of oceanfront beach walk and Muscle Beach scene. Next. Generations of professional, amateur, and tourist photographers have memorialized the arched colonnade at 1659 Oceanfront Walk as a backdrop for bodybuilders on Santa Monica beachfront's Muscle Beach. In the landmark designation for the Purser Apartments, the commissioners noted that it was a familiar and key feature south of the Santa Monica Pier. Utilizing the scope of rehabilitation and treatments outlined in a Mills Act contract, which they wisely applied for as part of their designation, and working with the Secretary of Standards for rehabilitation as part of that work, the owners systematically rehabilitated and restored the Purser Apartments towards the building's original appearance. As you can see, all of the pseudo non-original polystyrene lintels, trims, and applied shutters were removed. Aluminum sliding windows were replaced with double hung sash to match what would have been the original windows. The stucco surface was refinished, removing the applied texture, and extensive deferred maintenance was provided for roofing and waterproofing. Next, and highly deteriorated doors were replaced or refurbished. The interiors and the courtyard space was also upgraded for contemporary living. And so for next, I'd like to congratulate all of the participants in the Purser Apartments project and the receipt of a rehabilitation award. For our next award, I'd like to introduce Carol. We'll be discussing.
Yes, next slide, please. So, built in 1924, the 13-unit bungalow court at the northwest corner of Beach and 2nd Streets is a contributor to Santa Monica's first historic district, the 3rd Street Neighborhood Historic District, and is diagonally across Ocean Park Boulevard from the Shotgun House. When purchased by new owner Valencia Homes in 2017, evidence of deferred maintenance was extensive and most units were vacant. They applied for and received administrative approval for in-kind replacement of windows and exterior painting in the same year. Next, please. As planned, the wood sash double hung windows were replicated where needed. However, during construction, water damage and mold were discovered in the stucco walls, and eventually all of the stucco was removed to waterproof the walls. A certificate of appropriateness was also granted for new landscaping and fencing of the central courtyard with a gate, but the owner ultimately decided, as you can see on the right, to leave the main courtyard open to the street as it has been for decades. Next slide. Here you can see more details of the exterior rehabilitation with aging and deteriorated windows, doors, and other architectural features repaired or replaced in kind. Next. We congratulate the 227 Beach team for a very successful rehabilitation, which preserved features of the property significant to its historic, architectural, and cultural values while updating the units to support their return to the rental market. And with that, I'd like to introduce Margarita Jarabek, who will talk about 401, about the next award.
The landmark two-story American colonial style Henry Wise Charles Morris House was designed by noted architect Robert Farquhar and constructed in 1910. Located in northern Santa Monica, the residence features curving bays at the front porch, a wood pergola along Georgina Avenue, and a facade finished with a rigorous pattern of long canted wood shingles. During the past century, the residence served several families, and for a long period during and after World War II was converted to a boarding house. The building underwent a series of awkward interior modifications and needed significant long-deferred maintenance, as well as full reworking of building services and utilities. The wood pergola was highly deteriorated, and the landscape with large trees was left unmanaged. Next, please. Under the ownership of Tabit Ventures, the exterior was fully rehabilitated, including new matching redwood shingles aligned to match the original pattern and refurbished original windows. The landscape was renewed, the hardscape was reconstructed with original patterns, and the redwood pergola was reconstructed to match. Next, please. The interior was developed as two townhouses, each with a ground floor and upper level view of Palisades Park and the Pacific Ocean. The front second floor roof deck was developed as a usable terrace to enjoy ocean breezes. One of the unique challenges of this project was the rehabilitation of the front porch. Two front doors were needed to accommodate the townhouses. This was achieved by repurposing a window for a new door and by replicating the window pattern on the new front door. Next, please. It is an honor to present the Rehabilitation Award to the 401 Ocean Avenue Preservation Team. Congratulations. Now I'd like to turn the mic back to Carol. Thank you.
Thank you, Margarita. I would like to present the Stewardship Award to Annenberg Community Beach House. Designed by acclaimed architect Julia Morgan and built in 1929, the landmark guest house and the pool at the former Marion Davies estate form the historic core of this destination site, which was reimagined and opened for public use in 2009, thanks to a generous grant from the city of Santa Monica from the Annenberg Foundation, championed by Wallace Annenberg herself. Next slide. The ongoing rehabilitation, repair, and maintenance of these historic places include numerous projects which were carried out excuse me, with scrupulous care by contractors familiar with the Secretary of the Interior standards, which guide all aspects of historic preservation. The pool rehabilitation involved challenges in matching original materials, colors, and finishes due to its patterned marble deck, and the interior lined with unique tiles designed by Julia Morgan. Next, please. Repainting the guest house was sensitively done to restore its appearance while retaining its vintage quality. Historic artifacts found on site, such as wood balusters and a wooden gate, were conserved and carefully stored in special containers, while one wallpaper fragment has been treated for possible future use in an interpretive exhibit. Next slide. We congratulate the Annenberg Community Beach House team for consistently adhering to high standards for preserving and managing their historic assets, particularly as the COVID-19 pandemic imposed additional challenges on the projects we have just described. I should also note that we are very proud of the popular guest house docent program, which the Conservancy proposed in 2008 when the opening of the beach house was anticipated. And we have partnered with the city ever since to offer thousands of visitors a year this as the site's primary interpretive program. And with that, I'd like to introduce Ruth Ann Lehrer again.
Hi, everybody. I am delighted to present 2 volunteer service awards to Steve Loper and Libby Motika, co-chairs of the Santa Monica Conservancy's Program Committee, for their leadership in developing and presenting the Santa Monica Mosaic webinar series, which you heard about in earlier presentation. In response to the COVID-19 lockdown and the national outcry over the death of George Floyd, our program committee decided to explore themes of cultural history and identity for marginalized communities and those who have suffered from racial and social injustice. The mosaic concept highlights different cultural elements which, when combined, comprise the diverse cultural communities of Santa Monica and the West Side. The series launched with a webinar about the Gabrielina Tongva Native American history and experience. Since then, the series has featured stories of African Americans, Japanese Americans, Mexican Americans, and Jewish communities. In April, as you heard, the series focused on exiled Jewish artists who settled in Santa Monica Canyon during the Second World War. And the Mosaic series will continue with more coming this summer. Steve Loper and Libby Motika come from journalism backgrounds. Steve with Associated Press Los Angeles Bureau, and Libby with community newspapers, particularly the Palisades Post, where she writes enthusiastically about architecture and history. Steve manages the production side while Libby is on screen as host and MC of the webinars. Final slide. The Conservancy is very grateful for their invaluable contributions to our educational resources with the Mosaic series exploring our diverse cultural heritage. Thank you, Libby and Steve. This award is well deserved. Now, back to David.
And thank you all again. You can see what incredible work has been going on. And we were really excited about the award winners this year. And each year we look forward to people participating and nominating and thinking about this, because not only are we giving awards to these teams, but they have given something to the city in terms of preserving our history for the future. And so it's a real honor to be part of this program each year, and look forward to everyone's continued participation.